In the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Welcome to the All Things Done podcast, a vision inspired by the truth found in God's Word and designed to inform, educate, and impact you in every way. My name is Akitunde Idowu, and I am your host. Join us as we embark on a journey to becoming a better version of ourselves. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the All Things Done podcast. And my name is Akitunde Idowu. And it's such a wonderful weekend again. And today we have a guest because we are talking about a topic that is really unique, which is on the involvement of teenagers in politics and nation building. And believe me, we have a guest. Her name is Tioluwanimi Obisesan. Tioluwanimi Obisesan is a thinker-doer, a leadership consultant, a writer, logistics expert, a social entrepreneur, and an advocate for teenage and youth leadership in social systems, especially females. She's the founder and lead director at Limitless Leadership, a human resource and administrative art house based in Ibadan. Ultimately, her passion is to inspire positive transformation in and through people. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode, Tioluwanimi Obisesan. You're welcome, Tioluwanimi. Such a delight to have you around.
Thank you so much, Aki, today. It's an amazing pleasure. It's a sincere pleasure to be here this evening. Honestly, I'm actually glad.
Thank you for joining us. And to be honest, you have an inspiring profile here, and I'm hoping that our teenagers can really take a cue and some initiatives from what you have on your profile here. To inspire them to become better versions of themselves, and perhaps maybe become impactful leaders in the society as well. Okay, so let's dive right in. Since we're talking about leadership, talking about politics, talking about nation building, and talking about reconfiguring the mindset of teenagers to begin to think as the shapers of the destiny of this country, I would like us to establish what is leadership and what is the mindset of a leader.
Okay, so the truth is, one of the major mottos, one of the major statements that I believe as an individual is the fact that leadership is the ability to pursue who you really are, to pursue passion, to pursue purpose, and to pursue impact excellently. Emphasis on the word excellently, because the truth is, a lot of people do so many things, but then they don't do them with the virtual, the understanding of excellence. What makes you a master, what makes you a leader of your game is excellence, such that you're able to produce results. And the truth is, I like to say that the reason why there is a leader in everyone is because whatever you are doing, if you're truly pursuing who you really are, you're truly pursuing passion, purpose, and impact, then it would be easy for you to stand out. It's easy for you to truly lead a generation, because you are not looking at replacing another person. You're looking at living a life of another person, but then you're living your own life. And so it will be easy for you to stand out because you are true to yourself. Basically, leadership is being true to yourself. I like to tell people that, you should not be thinking about leading others if you've not led yourself. So the truth is, leadership has a core of leading yourself, pursuing who you really are, pursuing what you're passionate about, pursuing what you know should be your purpose to people, pursuing what can be impactful to people through your life. That way you can truly lead. And the truth is, beyond titles, if you're truly doing these things, then truly you're a leader. You do not need to, like my profile, my profile at some point, I did not have those things. But at those points in time, and at those stages of my life, I did not think of myself any less than a leader, because I know that, yes, what I was doing was I was pursuing who I really was and am and will be, future tense too. So basically, once you're truly pursuing what you're passionate about, your purpose, and you're truly pursuing impact, and they're not just pursuing them, but you're doing them excellently, then you are a leader. Then that is leadership.
Wow, so such an insightful one. So you've actually made mention of the fact that leadership is your ability to lead yourself, and that then translates to your ability to lead others. What is the implication of not being able to lead oneself? What is the implication of that?
Okay, the truth is, if you cannot lead yourself, you cannot bring forth results. And
Hmm.
whether you like it or not, what will make a man or a person follow you is not because of what you're saying. I mean, everybody has knowledge, but what validates your knowledge is actually the results that you bring forth. And so if you cannot effectively lead yourself, then you cannot effectively produce results. And then you cannot effectively lead a generation. So it's a spiral and it's a link connection such that once you can effectively lead yourself, then you know that you can discipline yourself to sleep when you're meant to sleep. I mean, sleep is also very important if people understand this. Discipline
Hmm.
yourself to eat what you're meant to eat. Discipline yourself to eat what you are meant to eat, because not everything are meant to eat. Discipline yourself to drink water as at when being. Discipline yourself to rest as at when being. Some people take pride in burning out. I do not subscribe to that school of thought. I used
Hmm.
to, but now I have repented. It is very important that you also take your rest seriously, because once you're not healthy, you cannot deliver on things that you need to do. So basically, getting to lead yourself, as simple as waking up early, laying your bed, doing very simple things, delegating tasks, your communication skills, your interpersonal relationships, in seemingly little things will determine how well you produce results and will determine if truly you're going to lead a generation. Because whether I like it or not, take it from me, it is just normal. Every single person wants to follow a person that has results,
Hmm.
unconsciously or unconsciously. Everyone wants to follow a person that has results. So yes, um, the effect is that you'll be able to produce results as a person. And honestly, if you cannot produce results, then there's nothing that validates the knowledge that you have that will make people follow you. So that's the effect.
This is really good. I literally can say that leadership is equals to results. Because that's what I've really picked from this last answer you've given. Moving forward, let's speak to leadership within the context of nation building. But before then, you mentioned the fact that there are certain skills that, in the process of answering, you mentioned certain skills that a leader must possess. Would you mind recounting that again, so that the teenagers can pay more attention to these skills again? You mentioned, I could remember you mentioned communication skills, you mentioned quite a number of skills. So would you mind recounting the skills that are very peculiar to leaders that drives result and make them who they are and what they are bet or the impacts they've made?
Okay, honestly, I like to say something that whenever I say so, I just tell you that these should not be the things that you should live by alone, because
Hmm.
eventually leadership and the skills that you need are broad. So I just tell people that what are the skills that you need to live a successful life? The skills you need to live a successful life are the skills that you need to be an effective leader.
Hmm.
I would not limit them to just saying some communication skills, because the truth is, beyond what I will ever say, there are certain skills that are not that do not have names, but then they are needed for you to live an effective and a productive lifestyle. And so the thing and the question I should ask yourself is, what are the skills that will be needed for me in my field? That's another thing that we need to look at, because I mean, not
Hmm.
everything should work for everybody. Not
Hmm.
every skill should work for everybody. There are different assignments, different personalities, different places of assignment, different fields, different phases, and different skills that are needed at different points in time. So you would need to understand that, okay, what is required from me at this point, and such that while you are in a place of administration, they know that you need soft skills. I mean, you know that you need the knowledge of computer, you know that you need the knowledge of communication, because you are an admin. And so you know that these things are very essential. But so like that's why I'm like, you know what? The truth is, I cannot necessarily give you that these are the skills that you must have,
Hmm.
because not everybody would live the lifestyle and will live my type of leadership lifestyle. Not everybody's my path, not everybody's on my field. So
Hmm.
the question should be, and the question that every teenager or anybody that's listening to this should ask themselves should be, what skill exactly be needed to live a successful lifestyle? What skill exactly be needed to produce results? What skill exactly would bring me to the goal that I want to see in my field? What skill exactly will bring me to that desired goal, to desired set goals, set goals that I've set for myself? Then I need to acquire those skills. Beyond things I'll tell you, understand what you think, what you know, and you think will be necessary for you on your journey, and then it's easy for you to pick it up from there.
Wow, fantastic. I'm now going back to what I earlier wanted to ask, which was tying leadership with nation building. We are in Nigeria, and we understand that okay, part of the requirements of leading as one of the political leaders is that you must be at least 18 years old. What advice do you have for the young people who are listening right now, who perhaps are seeing themselves as people who want to take this country to a better place? They want to participate in leading, being of effect, in this country. What advice do you have for people, to take part in nation building, especially when it relates to politics? Did,
Okay.
did you get that?
Yes, I
Okay.
got that. I got that. I got that loud and clear. What advice do I have? The advice is get involved. And so the next question will be, how do you get involved? It's very simple. I mean, there are various ways to get involved. And the truth is, like I usually say, that if you do not know better, you cannot do better. So you must first accept the fact that you have the desire to get involved. I mean, it's a decision first. You need to decide that I must be involved. I must get into that space. I must make a change. Once that decision has been made, then it's easier for the other decisions. So how do you get involved? There are various constituencies. There are various organizations that you can be part of. There are various constituencies in Nigeria that you should be part of, that they eventually make the decisions of the nation. What do I mean? In your constituency, there is a political party that is in charge. In your locality, there's an advocacy group that actually advocates for people to get involved in politics. So the question is, are you in the political party in your constituency? Or let's even break it down. Do you know your councillor in your constituency? I mean, so many people say that they want change, but the truth is, if there's a problem in your constituency, do you know those they are meant to report to? If you do not know people they are meant to report to, then how do you hold them accountable? So it's as simple as trying to get involved in the littlest things that do not seem like they matter. Because eventually these things build up into the major things. These things build up into major things. Ask an average of 80%. And what am I saying? Teenagers, adults, anybody. Ask them, who is the council of your ward? They'll be looking at you. I tried it one day, and I'm like, wow, there's a problem. So the truth is, we all think that the problem starts from the top. No, there's a spiral down level. That actually, if there's a problem in your locality, you should go and meet your councillor. People don't know that. Then you come and say that the president of the nation is not working. But in actual sense, you are the citizen. You're also not doing your duty as a citizen. Yeah. I mean, it is as simple as finding out what is needed. Finding out what is needed, finding out what is there, be persistent and intentional about researching about the candidate. I mean, you should not vote for a candidate without making research about that candidate. So when you ask me how can you get involved, it's as simple as doing your homework. It's as simple as doing your homework. Some people don't even know the news. I mean, if I ask them, what's the political sphere and political space of Nigeria, what does it seem like right now? They do not know why, because they don't listen to news. So it's as simple as finding out facts and figures about Nigeria, and then getting involved based on the facts and figures that you have. I mean, I think I need to repeat again that the truth is accountability is very crucial. It's very crucial in getting involved in politics. But the truth is, you cannot hold them accountable to what you do not know. A friend of mine says that you cannot do better if you don't know better. So it is first a function of having knowledge about the political space of Nigeria. It is first knowledge of having knowledge. Get information. Have concrete knowledge about your political leaders from your local constituency to your local government, to your state government, and then to your national government. Because I choose to repeat it again, you can't contact people you don't know. You cannot hold people that you don't know accountable. So when you're saying that a system is not working right, the first question should first be, are the citizens also doing what is right? Are the citizens also doing what is right? Are they informed that political situation of Nigeria? So very importantly, I'll round up on this. Beyond information, beyond getting involved in advocate groups, beyond joining political parties, very importantly, ensure that you also vote. And if you know that you have a flair and you have the desire for nation building, ensure that you step out, join a political party, and then also become the person that we vote for. When you know that you build yourself, become the person that we can vote for, build yourself to such a level that we can say that, yes, we can vote for you. Yes, we can. Because the truth is, in politics, you might have content and still not have support because you've not built yourself. Secondly, because you've not strategically positioned yourself in the right environment and right association. I don't want to go deeper than that, but I'll say that, see, beyond politics, people would not support your vision until you build a certain level of standard. And you cannot build that standard if you don't have in-depth content. So truth be told, beyond politics, whoever is listening to me right now, this morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you listen to me, ensure that you build yourself, develop yourself. It is what would make you needed in whatever sphere, whatever space that you want to serve. So before saying that you are not too young to run for election, ask yourself, I hope I have the needed skills, hope I have the needed value that will be needed in that office. And then you can go ahead.
Wow, thank you so much for that insight. Thank you very much. Okay, so this next question speaks to female involvement in nation building. Nigeria is quite a country where we don't really have much women involvement or young people's involvement. So female involvement is something that needs to be really encouraged. The inclusion of women, young girls and ladies in politics is quite a necessity now. There are quite a number of reasons why you probably will want women, to get involved. So one, because this is not a country that has just been lived by men alone, right? We have women living there, and a number of other reasons. Women have been seen to have compassionate sides, and that means that even when things are not going well, they are able to bring back this emotional part, which speaks to your ability to actually, look at the suffering of people, or, maybe empathize with what other people are going through and want to do right. So what do you think can be done to increase the involvement of women or young girls, in politics and the matters of nation building?
Okay. So personally, I like to say that the truth is, yes, women need to be more involved in politics, but permit me to say that I have a personal bias. I have a personal bias to say that women might never have equal representation as men in politics. And so that is a reality, not necessarily a personal bias. That's a reality that we know. Why? Because, and so personally, I like to say, rather than clamor for gender equality, we need to clamor for gender equity. Yeah. If we are clamoring for gender equity, that means we are actually clamoring for more opportunities for women, not necessarily that the opportunity should be equal to the opportunities that men have. Yeah. And secondly, I like to say that leadership, political offices shouldn't be based on gender or age. Now, this is where I'm coming for the not too young to run and the female people now. Yes, I advocate for female leaders to step into office, but it should never be at the detriment of competency. See, if we want more females to step into political offices, then what we need to do is that we need to train more competent women. If you want more young people to be in political offices, then what we need to do is that we need to train more young people, and then we can demand and we can clamor for gender equity or for age equity in political offices. So it goes beyond the fact that one female to be in offices. The truth is, I told a friend of mine yesterday, it was yesterday, I told him that the truth is, if a woman should step in office, or if a young person step in office today and doesn't do well, the word I used with him in the conversation was, and messes up, what the person would do is that the person will close doors to every other person coming after them, like them. And so it is very important, and rather than clamor for not too young to run, rather than clamor for women in political offices, what we should do is that we need to pay more attention at training these people such that they would not close the door to other people. I mean, according to statistics, women voted more than men in every election. Women naturally vote more than, but ironically, women aren't represented well in offices. And so the truth is, to effectively breach this, there needs to be deliberate education of women and of girls, starting from the family. Extreme definitions of gender roles can be limiting, and honestly, it actually starts from the family. So the solution should start from the family society, such that women are trained to take up leadership roles from the family. I mean, one of the trainings that I'm so grateful for, the fact that in my family, because of the fact that we also had 4 girls and one man. In my family, everyone is trained for leadership roles. We are all trained to wash cars. We are all trained to cook. My brother cooks amazing meals. We are all trained to do everything. We can all do it. I can change a tire.
Wow.
I mean, because we are all the same way that my brother can cook, my brother can wash. There's nothing that seems so there's no gender, the specific rules. We're all trained to do all things. So the truth is, if we can have that reorientation from the family and then steaming into the society, it would help a whole lot. It would help a whole lot to bridge the gap that we see in age or gender equity. Because the truth is, if you can train every single person for and towards competency, every single person, regardless of age, every single person, regardless of gender, will be competent enough to take forth and to take forth and take on the old and the reins of leadership in Nigeria.
Wow. So empowerment of everybody is really necessary, and not empowering some people, towards doing this and empowering some others towards doing this.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so when we're talking about training now, do you have any training programs you could recommend to anyone listening right now that can really help them, understand this subject matter better, one, and number two, get more involved and develop the right competence, towards taking advantage of these opportunities that that we have in nation building?
Okay, so yes, there are so many, and you can reach out to me personally, either through my mail or preferably through an Instagram message.
Okay.
Anyone works fine. You can just reach out to me on Instagram. You can just type Tioluwanimi Obisesan or Tioluwanimi_Obisesan, or if you reach out to me, just reach out to the organization. I have a personal organization as an academy, and the name of the organization is Limitless Leadership Version. I'll take that again, Limitless Leadership Version. And so we are very particular about discipling people. We are very particular about training teenagers and young adults in all social systems, such that we know that every single person will come forward, either male, female, or either young or old, but then they're not just going to come forward, they're going to come forward as competent leaders, as competent leaders, as competent leaders. And so we can deliver the nation that we want, we can deliver the world that we want. Yes, so please do feel free to reach out to me. I have a training that will be starting from April under my personal brand, Tioluwanimi Obisesan, and also their training is ongoing at Limitless Leadership Version from the month of March. So do not reach out to me personally or reach out to Limitless Leadership Version, and we would be glad to reach out, be glad to ensure that all your concerns and all your needs are met as an individual.
Great, fantastic. Okay, so does any book or course come to mind, when it comes to this subject matter that we have discussed today? Do you have any books or maybe like courses, online courses people could take regarding this subject matter that we've discussed today that you would recommend to our audience?
Okay, so the truth is I don't like recommending books without on leadership without first ensuring that the person's life is sorted out. So one of the major books I recommend, two books actually. One will be A Purpose-Driven Life. You need to first understand yourself, A Purpose-Driven Life. And then secondly will be 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. The first one is by Rick Warren. The second one is by John C. Maxwell. So these are two books that I know that the first one will help your life and you will help you, understand the assignment that you have on earth. And the second would actually be based on leadership. You know what? Let me just do it. Aside from the book I mentioned, every leadership book from John C. Maxwell, I recommend it to you. I mean, feel free to read those books, and yes, you'll be glad that you did. Courses for me, I do not advocate online courses because I do not think that it is actually courses that we do not know the authors, or we do not know the people that actually compile them. They are not sure of the level of knowledge, experience, results, efficiency of those courses. So personally, any online course would be that I would advocate or that I would recommend would be one that I know the person, and for now, most of the people I follow do not have online courses, so I would not recommend anyone for now.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, the last question I have here is that you talked about the fact that people need to get their purpose sorted. Part of your training that you offer at Limitless Leadership, version, does it include helping people to discover themselves? And because I'm very aware that there are a lot of young people who today do not know, what they have been called to do. So does your training include that? So they can be aware of that?
Oh, yes, it does. I mean, the training starts from self to others, self to others. And so we do not train people we do not train people for leadership to lead others without them training them to lead themselves first. So yes, yes, and yes, and yes, it does. I like to say that leadership is the call to follow while leading. And I mean, you cannot effectively follow if you've not trained yourself. You cannot effectively follow if you've not trained yourself in certain areas. So it is very important that we train ourselves so that we can even still follow while we are leading as leaders. We can still follow by virtue of the fact that we have trained ourselves. So yes, there are courses like that, because we also believe that your purpose or assignment determines your area of leadership. And so we should not be training your leadership if you've not trained you in your purpose and your assignment, or you've not trained your personnel, or you've not trained you to understand your assignment and to understand your purpose. So first, you understand your purpose, you understand your assignment, and then that will determine the area of leadership that you are to set out for. And also that will determine the type of trainings that you have to take under the organization, under the trainings that we will give you in the academy.
Wow, thank you very much, Tioluwanimi. Lastly, what quote resonates with you when you think of leadership? What quote resonates with you that you'd like to leave with the audience before we go?
Okay, I think it would be one that I did myself. I mean, one that I said myself. Leadership isn't hunger for power. I'll tell you that again. Leadership isn't hunger for power. Rather, leadership is driven by an hunger for passion. Leadership isn't hunger for power, but rather leadership is driven by an hunger for passion. I mean, if you want power, if you want titles, please don't think about leadership. You're on the wrong path for leadership entirely. Why? Because the truth is, when the title and the power doesn't come, you get frustrated. What sustains you, even when nothing seems common, nothing seems like it's forthcoming, what sustains you is your hunger for passion, your hunger for purpose, and your hunger for impact. That is what sustains you. So leadership is the hunger for power. Rather, leadership is driven by the hunger for passion, purpose, and impact.
Wow. This has really been a great interview and a great time. I had like a very impactful and a very insightful session with you today. And to be honest with you, I actually have my notepad. I was jotting, a number of things as you were laying them out. Thank you so much, for, sacrificing this time to impact every one of us. We are really grateful on behalf of every listener on the All Things Then podcast. We say a very big thank you for joining us today, Tioluwanimi. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank God. It's a sincere pleasure. Thank you.
All right. We've come to the end of today's interview and today's podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. If you have been blessed by this topic, please share with your friends and also drop reviews on the community page or our email. You can also share with us burdens on your heart or topics you would want us to talk about. Feel free to give to promote the spread of this podcast by partnering with us on our website at allthingsdenpodcast.disha.page. Thank you for your constant support. See you next week.